Like Monopoly money. What's up, guys? So we are coming from kind of like the more local side of the city. I don't know if it's the downtown or the center, but we're walking back towards the old town and the tourist area. We're gonna go meet with our consulting partner tonight. We're gonna take you guys along. We're gonna talk to him a little bit about visas and life in Laos. We're gonna hopefully talk to some other expats and get their experiences.
Yeah, it should be pretty interesting.
We're meeting them at this restaurant, lounge place, supposed to be pretty cool. So yeah, we'll go hang out and maybe do some networking and make some content for you guys about Laos. All right, what's up, guys? So we are at the event. The partner who is putting on the event, he said he's going to arrange for some interviews, and he said after the event we'll do an interview with him. So we'll bring you guys some information on visas, and we'll also hopefully get a chance to talk to a couple expats and see what they have to say about living here. What are their pros and cons? You know, what are their motivations and what makes them want to live here versus anywhere else in Southeast Asia. So hopefully it'll be an interesting night. We're having a beer Lao, which is like one of the dark beers, and we got a fish and chips. So hopefully we'll have a nice chill night and make some good relationships. It's very easy going here, very laid back. So really enjoying this town a lot. 100% like a mixed match of Penang, Chiang Mai, Phuket town.
Yes.
And like Pai, I guess, like just high mountain town in Southeast Asia, but with like crazy beautiful architecture. You could definitely do worse, guys. So I think we're gonna get a lot of good information tonight. What's up, guys? So this entire spread was like $6. You got fish and chips, fries, fried vegetables, and some kind of a mayo. Looks absolutely delicious. So we're gonna get down on some food before we get to hearing the presentation and interviewing the expats and the consultant. We're gonna hopefully bring you some great content tonight. This looks delicious.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Are you enjoying the drinks? All right, so most of you guys know me already, so I'm gonna be really short, but just for the video here. So I joined the agency in 2008. It started in 2008, and I joined the company in 2012. I became the partner, and then I started opening companies around Laos, and I own those companies now. 10 years ago, we did about 1,000 visas a year, and we went up to 9,000 visas pre-COVID every year. Now we're only doing 5,000 to 6,000 visas, but next year we're going to be back to that number. So the products that we propose, of course, are the visas, multiple entry visas, with stay permit and with or without work permit, labor visas, work visas, business visas. If you're over 65, we do retirement visas. We do investor visas, which are cheaper because you're an investor. And we do spouse visas. If you're married to a Lao national, they're cheaper too, but you cannot work. Process permanent residency. We can open companies for you, transfer companies, driver's licenses, marriage license if you marry a Lao national and you're a foreigner. Basically any document that a foreigner needs in Laos, we know how to process. That's our job. So the good news is prices are down again. Every year we announce a small reduction. So for Luang Prabang, all LAB2 visas, whether they're sponsored or with a company such as a hotel or a restaurant, are down $30. So that means $650 when they're fully sponsored with a work permit, and $550 if you own a Lao company like a hotel. The new visa, it's a business visa without work permit. It took me 5 years to convince Ministry of Labor to allow us to issue visas, multiple entry visas with a stay permit and without a work permit. So before, those were reserved exclusively for under 18 or over 65, but now we can run them for anybody. So if you're a digital nomad, for example, or if you're not working in Laos, we can issue 3, 6, or 12-month visas for you to stay in Laos. They're multiple entry. You can go in and out of the country, travel, and they're $100 cheaper. So that's not bad. I think that's good. What we try to do is we try to offer better service for less. We just strive for that, and that's why our prices keep going down every year. And we try to offer better service. We have great staff. We have about 40 staff across the country. Most are in Vientiane, but we have our office here in Luang Prabang with our director, Bam. And we have an office in Paksay, and we have somebody in Takek as well as Sieng Quang now. We have somebody in Sieng Quang. So yeah, a lot of people have been asking. We got our quota for permanent residency for people who want to basically spend their life in Laos. Permanent residency means no more visas ever. You can work anywhere you want. You can register vehicles under your name. You cannot own land, but you can do a 30-year land lease if you want to buy land in Laos, because it's only under a Lao name, but you can do a 30-year land lease, and we can help you guys with that. Permanent residency is faster now. We do it in 8 to 12 months. The minimum requirements are 3 years living in Laos if you're of Lao origin, 5 years if you're married to a Lao or an investor, and if you're none of the above, it's 8 to 10 years. And it takes 8 to 12 months to process, and it's like a permanent visa. It's valid 5 years, and you just need to send a new picture every 5 years. And no fees at the border, no need to carry your passport, no more stamps, and you pay 10% taxes if you have a company instead of 24%. Big news, I don't know if you read, there's a new Lao honorary passport. So foreigners are allowed an honorary passport. There are conditions. It's for foreigners who invested at least $1 million into Laos, but there's plenty of those who bought hotels and land and opened companies. It's probably not any of your cases, but it's good to know. At least it's going in the good direction, because the next step is to allow dual citizenship. You need like a master's or bachelor's degree. You need to be educated. This is brand new, and we're working with different ministries to understand what the process is, what the costs are, so I can't give you a price. But we have 2 people that we're processing right now, and hopefully next year they're going to be Lao honorary citizens, which means you can own land.
This will be the first time ever.
Yeah.
This has never happened here.
No, never. This is brand new. But it's really, people are going to get interviews. I mean, they're going to pick people. It's not for everybody. You can't just come up and with $1 million and just say, hey, I want a Lao passport. Doesn't work like that. Like I said, permanent residency, if you're of Lao origin and you speak Lao, it's 3 years in Laos and not 5 or 10. So the 2 passports that we're processing right now, those are people who've been here 20 years. They know everything by heart. Yeah. I mean, those are the kind of people that we're talking to. Yeah. If somebody's been here 5 or 10 years, I recommend the permanent residency. It's probably going to be cheaper. Yeah, the marriage is quicker now. We can do it in 6 to 8 months, and it's $400 off. Yeah, it's $400 less because we have a dedicated team. We did a few this year, and prices are down. It's still a bit expensive, a bit complicated, but once you give us the documents, it's done in less than a year. 6 to 8 months, and you're married to a Lao national. It's a fast track to permanent residency, 5 years in Laos instead of 10. And you can get a SPB3 family marriage visa instead of a business visa, which is 30% less per year. We do everything we really focus on service. So we're available 7 days a week. If you have a problem, you can call us at any time. I'll pick up the phone at 10 p.m. It's not a problem. If your embassy doesn't answer, you have an accident, or you're at the hospital or something, we'll answer and we'll send you an ambulance or something. We're here to help. That's really our number one thing, is to help expats in Laos.
A German guy, been living here a couple of years, wants to open a business. What do you do?
We process business licenses, and they're cheaper than before.
You do process?
Yeah, we process, and basically the price is going to be between $2,000 and $10,000, depending on the type of business. If you put it under a Lao name or a foreigner name, Lao name is half the price. And if you put it under the Lao name, you pay 10% taxes instead of 24% if you put it under your own foreigner name. So I actually have people who paid extra for a foreigner business license, and then they come back to me because they processed somewhere else, and they say, I was stupid to put it on my name because I'm paying 24% in taxes. And now there's a bunch of tourists here, etc. So we reprocess their business license under a Lao name. We do a contract because we work with lawyers who do the contract. So this is legal work done by lawyers who do not charge by hour. They charge by job.
That's cool.
So you have a deposit and you have a I'm happy service fee.
So Chris,
Yeah.
may I follow on? What is the cheapest business license you can get away with doing?
Well, you can get a business license where you cannot process a visa, for example. That's less than $500 million keep, which is about $30,000 capital. If you don't have that capital, you cannot work for yourself.
Yes.
So, like my wife, for example, we did a business license for $3 million keep at the time, so about $300, but cannot process a visa for a foreigner. So that's why they're more expensive. So you need an office. They come, they look at the office, and they count the chairs, the tables, and stuff like that. And then, if you want to put 30,000, they say, okay, for 30,000, that way we can process the visas, and you can be employed by your own company. Okay, because that's very important. Visas, number one, visas need to be localized. If you live in Luang Prabang, it needs to be stamped in Luang Prabang. If you live in Paksay, it needs to be stamped in Paksay, otherwise you get a fine. If you work for a Lao company, I cannot issue the visa under my company. The work permit has to be issued under your company. That's very important, otherwise, fine. And interview 3 hours at the police. Yes?
The question being,
There is a new rule that when you renew your visa, you need to exit the country
Okay.
if you had a break.
So since September 1st, everybody, if you're in Laos, okay, everybody with a tourist visa or with a non-LAB2 visa, so investor, spouse, embassy, etc. There's 13 types of visa in Laos. Need to exit the country with a letter that we can process for you in 1 week. You enter with that letter and your passport and $40, and you get your new visa. You activate the new visa type. If you have an LAB2 and you're in Laos, you don't need to cross the border, but you need to pay a $50 fee to transfer.
And how much is
$50
the
to
letter?
$100. I'm sorry?
How much is the letter? The letter.
It's $100. So it's first year only, huh? Once you have your visa, you never have to cross the border again. Like these guys, as long as they're here and they renew their visas, they're from Canada, very nice people.
Yeah, but before even if you have that, you don't have to cross the border. You don't have to cross.
Yes, but this is a new rule since September 1st, 2022. And if you're abroad, we issue that letter, we send it by PDF, you print it, and you arrive with the letter, boom, visa, you don't have to do anything. Just give us the passport. And all visas issued or processed by our company, they're issued, of course, by the government. You pay the visa at the end. There's no down payment. When you're happy, okay? We send you pictures, and you're happy, you're satisfied, then you pay. There's no down payment on the visas.
Yeah,
We're the only ones doing that.
whenever somebody does that, you know they're not.
There's no risk, but we have to do that.
Otherwise,
First of all, we pick our customers. But the problem is there's been so many horror stories of people giving money to somebody, whatever, and then the guy disappears. Or even he does the visa, and then they need a piece of paper or whatever to open a bank account or whatever, and the guy doesn't have an office, there's no invoice, there's nothing. So we have offices, we have staff, we do events like tonight, and people know where we are, how we operate, and we've been around since 2008. So, and you pay after. No down payment, no deposit. For visas, huh? For other products, there's a deposit because there's more expenses. Go for it.
I'm on the working, but not working visa. The 200,000 in vientiane, the 450,000.
Okay. So this is a COVID extension.
Yeah.
Okay, during COVID, people with a multiple entry visa, investor, spouse, business, retired, whatever, could extend every month or every 3 months for a ridiculous sum. Because
Cheaper in vientiane.
you couldn't, because they lost their job, you couldn't exit the country, etc. That's finished now.
I know it's finished. I got the next one. But do I need to exit the country if I get the new B2?
Well, do you have an LAB2 right now?
No, I'm on the have no job visa. Still, I got,
No,
I got
yeah,
6
you-
extension.
Okay. Did you exit the country since you got that LAB2 visa last time?
Never.
Okay.
I haven't since
Then, as
2018.
long as you don't have a used or canceled stamp on that visa,
No,
I can transfer that visa without you crossing the border.
that's cool.
So you save $200 because you don't have to
Wow.
fly to Vientiane, cross the border, pay
3,
$40,
4,
come back.
5, 600 bucks actually. But
Nah.
residency.
Permanent residency, yes.
Entitled to Lao passport
Oh, it fast tracks to the Lao passport, yes.
and dual residency. It's a problem,
Well,
or depending on your government.
the law has been written, presented to the National Assembly, and we're waiting for the Prime Minister to sign it, which may take some time. But yes, there's actually in the law, you can apply for citizenship 1 year after you receive your permanent residency. But it doesn't work yet. But that's the plan. Yeah. It'll come. It'll come within the next 5 years. I think it'll be there. Yeah. But there will be strings attached because they don't want everybody to get a Lao passport. So there will be, such as investor license or a certain number of years, or if you have a certificate of excellence, or you help Lao people with an NGO, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
All right, last question.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Does Lao tax foreign income? So, for example, if you make income overseas, whether it's income through crypto or...
Okay, that's a very good question. Okay, so right now there are no tax identification numbers for people. If we sponsor your visa, we actually pay your income tax because there's a work permit and there's a declared income, which is why it's a bit more expensive. But it's a Lao salary, so right now every business which has a business license and a tax license and a corporate enterprise license, etc. I mean the whole shabam. There's a tax identification number, and you have to pay 24% of taxes if you're a foreigner, 10% if you're Lao. Hence, my recommendation to collaborate with a Lao. Okay, you can always open a bank account and put under your name and put all the money there. That way, you control the money. That's what I recommend people. Now, there is a tax identification number project to tax every single person, Lao or foreigner, who is legally, of course, in Laos, because those who are legal, nobody knows where they are. And if they get caught, they get deported. But that's in the works. But I don't think it's going to happen very soon because like the VAT, they passed into Lao law in 2009. And except a few hotels and restaurants serving phalangs and some companies, 90% of businesses in Laos are not part of the VAT taxing system yet. So 2009, that's 13 years ago. So I think that the individual tax identification number is going to take some time, maybe not 15 or 10 years, but maybe a few years. So if you're in Laos with a valid visa, and you're a digital nomad, for example, you can invoice foreign companies, whatever work, and you won't pay a penny in taxes. We're paying your taxes. It's included in your visa. I want to say something very, very important. To everybody who wants to come to Laos, we purchase $2 to $3 million a year worth of visas, stay permits, and work permits to the government. Okay? So we're very close to the government. So if you do anything, if you want to come to Laos and do anything illegal, somebody will call me about it, and we're not going to be happy about it. So everybody's welcome to Laos, digital nomads, retired people, working people, investors. But we want good people who do legal stuff. If it's illegal, you'll have a problem with me.
It's like it can be legal for foreigners to do something and illegal for Lao people to do it. Example, for cryptocurrency, in the Laotian time, they were saying it's illegal for Lao people to trade cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But they don't mention phalanx.
No. Foreigners can do crypto.
And as well, my bank account is not in Laos. So
Yes, but you can do P2P. You can do P2P crypto with BCL, the biggest bank in Laos. You can do Binance P2P with that bank. Yes. Or maybe it's the other one. It's Binance or.
Do you accept Binance?
Huh?
Do you accept Binance?
We tried for a bit, and the Bitcoin went from $50,000 to $16,000 today. It's too volatile, so I don't want to do it.
But using Binance, like
Binance has USD. Binance has gold.
If you can find me 10 customers who want to pay with Binance, I'll do it.
What's going on, guys? It's the Expat Messiah coming to you from Luang Prabang, Laos. Beautiful city, beautiful people, beautiful food. Love this place. I am here with Okay, we have Bam here, and she is an expert on all things Lao and all things visa related. So today we're gonna ask her just a couple questions that might help you, with your decision about moving to Lao, help you, have some clarity on some of the common issues that expats face and some of the best ways to stay in Lao. So what are the most common issues that expats face coming to Lao?
I found that many of our customers, they don't do the things that are out of the purpose, and they are happy living here.
So yeah, so it's not so much of a problem. So just follow the rules, and it's pretty easy. Are the rules pretty easy to follow?
Yes.
So really, if you don't make trouble, you're not going to have any problems here.
Right. Yes.
What's the easiest way to stay in Lao long term right now? What's the most inexpensive, easiest, least paperwork?
It depends of your budget, because we have many kinds of visas and have different prices. And yes, the good price seems to be the investor. So if you invest a business in Laos, you will get cheaper price.
Okay, so opening up a business is the easiest way to stay in Laos.
Yes.
Is it the most expensive or the least expensive?
The least.
The least expensive.
Yes, cheaper.
Cheaper than the residency, cheaper than the other. Is it difficult to open a company in Laos?
No.
No, it's pretty easy.
Once you have enough capital, you are sure to run the business here. So it's easy.
Does the business have to do anything, or for example, can I open a consultancy and just live in Laos and just use the business for the visa?
You need to do something, I think.
So it actually has to have money in, money out?
Yes, because you will be taxed.
You're taxed, right?
You will be taxed with that.
Okay, so the company actually has to have money in, money out?
Yes, it must be like that.
Now, is it easier to do that if you open it up under a Lao person's name?
Yes.
So you can avoid having to do a lot of tax and paperwork by just opening it up under a Lao person's name?
Yes.
And do you guys have Lao people that you trust that can help foreigners to open businesses?
Yes.
So you can make the process safer and easier for them?
Yes.
So you can save them money on taxes, save them money on time on paperwork,
Yes.
and you can put everything under a Lao person's name who's honest and
Yes.
not going to steal the business.
Yes.
All right, so that's great. So guys, there's a lot of ways to stay in Lao. It's really been, for me, an eye-opener, because I've been all over Southeast Asia for almost a decade now, and I've never been to Laos until just now. So I had no idea this was here or that it was like this, and it's fantastic. So if you're thinking about coming to Laos, we're going to talk to a few more people tonight and get their opinion on what it's like to live in Laos. Thank you, Bam, for giving us some information, and look for more. I am here with these two lovely people from Canada, right? The frozen north? The frozen north? Yeah. It's a lot warmer here, right? So what brought you guys to Laos?
We changed reason since we're here, but the base reason is that this is one of the top 3 spots on earth to become extremely wealthy.
Okay.
Like for somebody who wants to be really fucking big.
Right.
He wants Bill Gates to be little change.
Right, okay.
There's only really a few spots that are good for that. And this is one of them. But there was also, we used to believe what I call the nuclear scare.
Okay.
And then we found out nuclear bombs don't exist.
Okay.
So that totally changed the whole game, and we might move out of here. But since we still want to make it big, and we can just start here, we're already here.
Cool.
We're gonna give it 2 years and do something really big.
What kind of visas are you guys using to stay at the moment?
Right now we're just digital nomads, so I'm just writing a platform.
We have the LB, B2 visa.
Like we can't work.
Right, okay. But you can live in Laos, you can stay.
Yeah, no trouble.
Very cool, very cool.
Nobody's ever asked us for papers, well, except they come to our house once a year. And I don't know why.
They check all
They come and check. Like, it's very analog here.
Right.
It's
like
insane,
written on
actually,
paper.
how analog it is. To ask people to leave the country, you know, when all the paperwork is done and come back, just to put something at the border, you know, to I don't know, like satisfy some old rule that they haven't looked at.
That was the only annoying thing. Is we came and then we wanted to stay.
But then also the good side of that is they don't really talk to us other than that. We don't get any trouble.
That's great. So it's very easy living. Very live and let live. The foreigners are tolerated. Like, is the attitude of the people generally warm to foreigners?
Yes.
They're more or less happy we're here.
I had an episode here, well, two. I actually fainted in the back lane at the market. And when I came to, there was like a lady with her sniffer there and another lady with a bottle of water.
Aww.
They won't let you die there.
Wow, that's nice.
So there's a background, good crowd, and of course, you know, there's the reasons why everything is the way it is, or they live everywhere.
Right.
But the background people are really nice, but
Cool.
the language barrier is really big.
It's hard, yeah, sure.
So it's like sign language and stuff, but they're kind of used to it because people don't know this, but between here and like the larger Golden Triangle, if you will,
Right.
if you go up north past Yunnan and like way into western Thailand, western North Thailand, and into Laos, there's like 300 languages.
Right. Yeah, of course.
And then there's like 3 different scripts.
Right.
The Chinese script, the Thai script, the Laos script, the Myanmar
The
script.
Khmer script is different.
Then there's Latin now.
Right.
For the hill tribes that took Latin.
Right.
You know, that lost actually their written language. as
Vietnam has the Latin alphabet also.
Sure.
Yeah.
There's small languages here that use it.
So really that's one of the hardest things was language barrier. It's funny because I find language barrier to be less difficult here because they speak Thai. And I speak basic Thai, so it's a little bit easier for me because
Thai TV, they all watch Thai TV.
Yeah, if you speak Chinese, then it's a bit easier.
Right.
So I'm learning Mandarin, which is basically the smartest language to learn here.
And definitely for business in general.
Especially if you already know English. I have no reason to want to learn Lao.
Sure.
Zero.
Right.
It's a dead-end language.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but it is.
It is, sure.
So they're all going to learn English or Chinese.
Right.
Yeah. It's inevitable.
Right?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, or Thai.
You're absolutely right. Yeah. And
So
even Thai would be more valuable.
look at China when it modernized, the Han Chinese just took over. And all the dialects just kind of went way down.
If you could tell somebody who was in your position before you came to Laos, one thing that you really wish somebody would have told you, what's that?
Learn Chinese.
Learn Chinese.
Because you'll have 10 times more friends.
Yeah.
And do you find that you
Just
can...
look at the tourists when you go out. There's more Chinese tourists. Even though it's really difficult for them to travel still.
And the Chinese New Year. It's like epic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you find Lao people who you can communicate with in Mandarin?
In English.
English, okay. So generally in English is the...
Yeah.
So English and Chinese would be the two...
English is kind of like the de facto language, actually, most of the time.
Yeah.
When you get in a crowd of people, it's like...
Some of the hill tribes really like English because of historical reasons. They're basically on their side.
Yeah, they were closer to the Americans.
There's
Yep.
actually...
They were with them.
Yeah, I know.
It was their downfall.
Same in Vietnam too, really. You
And
know,
French
the Hmong.
too, actually.
It was why
Some
the-
Lao speaks quite a bit of French, speaking Lao.
It's why they actually don't feel welcome in Laos. So they'd way rather make a bond with you. They have a bias against like the
The majority ethnic group.
you know, it's kind of like even they split up. They're like Black Lao, Black Thai, Black. They're all like there's different tribes. So they have it. They laugh at each other's accents from one city to the other in Laos.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
So like to say that it's like a homogenous thing, somebody from Luang Prabang is kind of thought of as from there.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot more.
Split up the country in 5 countries.
There's a lot more tribal people here than, like, for example, in Vietnam, where there is a lot, but there's Vietnam, you know, is a monoculture largely. Whereas I've seen Laos has way more hill tribe people, way more different minority groups here.
And in the textiles, you see it in the textiles. Like,
so if you look at geopolitically right now, this area of the world, which city is best positioned to become the Vienna of the Renaissance of the region?
Oh, Luang Prabang, I think no question.
Right here.
I think no question.
the weaving, the artisan. The first time that we came here,
They're more like worldly already because they've been exposed to a like endless flow of foreigners, smart foreigners that were coming here because it's like a little paradise with an international airport.
It is truly a little paradise.
it's like charming. That's what I said. When I first came here, I
Especially
was like,
before
wow.
the lockdown.
Yeah.
Like you would hear 12 languages being spoken right here. Like it was 10 times more people.
Yeah.
You couldn't walk through here.
Wow.
It was nuts.
That's amazing.
There was like a vibration in the streets from the people.
Yeah.
So this is really an amazing place to be. Do you find the cost of living to be reasonable?
That's one of the reasons to be here.
Yeah, I found it to be the cheapest I've seen.
The biggest problem is like tech.
Yeah, but that's getting better. But getting the
So it's changing now through like all the Amazon clones that are around here.
Okay. Is there a lot of them?
And people that just get stuff for people because they have a company and it's easy for them.
That's only just beginning.
But it's really happening fast.
Yeah.
The digitization here is going to be like, it's kind of like these places where they never had phone lines. It just went from desert smoke signals to 3G phones.
I know. It's really
This
like
place
that.
didn't have phone lines, they fiber optics.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
So they bypass like all of this bad decision, urban planning, really, of the 70s, 80s, 60s, 50s. If you go in America, there was a lot of bad stuff.
Horrible. Terrible.
Huge
Yeah.
highway aqueducts.
I would say from the 40s on.
Yeah, Montreal was destroyed, split in two by this huge highway project, and the old town was just like cut off from the rest.
I mean, I'm from New York City, and like, you know, we had the West Side Highway that cuts off our
You
riverfront.
gotta
You know.
drive in New York.
Did you? Yeah. I was born and raised there. Yeah.
Yeah,
In the hometown.
beautiful.
Yeah, it was all right. In the 90s, it was a little more rough around the edges, but
Don't have a strong accent.
I've been away for a long time. I've been outside of America for more than a decade, and
Yeah, same with us. It's been more than a decade now that we've been in Asia.
I don't even know what it's like to be in New York now. I couldn't even tell you. I'm sure it sucks.
Probably nothing you remember.
It wouldn't be what I would. Yeah, I remember. I remember being able to afford to live. I don't think I could do that now. Well, thank you for talking to us. We appreciate you, and thank you. And we'll let you guys know when the video comes out. You can check yourselves out. You know, if you guys like this type of content, smash the like button and please subscribe. Help us fight the algorithm. If you're thinking about coming to Laos to do any kind of business, hit me up on the Facebook fan page, and we can get you with the right people. Are you thinking of living, working, or doing business in Laos? Laos is an incredible country that's often overshadowed by its more well-known neighbors. It's a diverse country with a beautiful landscape and beautiful people. It offers a tremendous amount of opportunity for someone with an open mind. Are you thinking of retiring, working, doing business, or just living in a place where life moves at a different pace? If you're thinking about living and working in Laos or doing any kind of business in Laos, reach out to us on the Facebook fan page because we have the contacts you need to make your transition to Laos smooth. We provide you with contacts for visas, housing, real estate, local fixers, and anything else you might need to get you started in this incredible country.